Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. As The Witcher is going to be released on the 20th in Netflix, I thought to make a video on Superman. I mean Hencry Cavil. I'm in Geralt of Rivia. So before you go and start watching The Witcher, I want you to join the hype train. And so here's everything to know about The Witcher, from books to Netflix. The Witcher, or Wiedźmin, originally started off as a series of short stories and novels, with its genre lying in the realm of fantasy, which then got adapted into a film, a television show, multiple video games, graphic novels, and finally as a Netflix show. The author of the book is Andrzej Sapkowski, hailing from Poland, wrote the book in Polish, which then later got translated into various languages including English and Spanish, which expanded its reach. Sapkowski chose this word Wiedźmin as it is the male equivalent of the Polish word witch. Wiedźmin has one more translation other than Witcher. An earlier translation was the Hexer. As the name suggests, the story revolves around the Witcher, more precisely Geralt of Rivia. In Sapkowski's words, Witchers are beast hunters who develop supernatural abilities at a young age to battle wild beasts and monsters. Geralt is considered to be the best among the Witchers. Just kidding, he is the best. The world in which the Witcher stories exist takes place in an unnamed continent settled by the elves. The elves originally came from overseas and settled in several thousand years ago. On arriving, the elves encountered gnomes and dwarves, which resulted in a long period of war between the elves and the dwarves. When the dust finally settled, the dwarves retreated back to the mountains while the elves settled in the plains and the forests. Then came the humans, and with their thirst for conquest, they ignited a series of war which resulted in humans coming up as victorious. Now becoming the dominant race, the non-human races were forced to live among the small ghettos of human settlements and considered as second-class citizens. Those who weren't confined to the ghettos lived in the wilderness regions, which was not yet claimed by the humans. Beside the humans, elves, gnomes and dwarves, there existed other races on the continent, which includes halflings and dryads. Werewolves and vampires soon appeared as a result of a magical event known as the Conjunction of Spheres. The Witcher was first published in a Polish science fiction and fantasy magazine, Fantastica, in the form of short stories. Fun fact, the first short story, titled Wiedźmin, was written by author Andrzej Sapkowski for a contest held by the same magazine, and it won 3rd place. Yeah, not the 1st place. The collection of short stories includes 2 books, The Sword of Destiny, The Last Wish. Chronologically, the stories of The Last Wish takes place before the stories in The Sword of Destiny, making The Last Wish the first book of the series. While The Last Wish takes the focus on Geralt and the subjects related to Geralt and the Witchers, Sword of Destiny is equally important as it introduces characters that play major roles in the novels. The collection of novels is known as the Witcher Saga. The Witcher Saga includes 5 books: Blood of the Elves, Time of Contempt, Baptism of Fire, The Tower of the Swallow, The Lady of the Lake. The saga revolves around Geralt and Ciri. Ciri is a princess of a recently conquered country and a pawn of international politics. She later becomes a witcher in training. So what has Geralt got to do with this? Well, he is tasked to protect her and take on the tornado of events that occur in the process. Lastly, there is also a novel outside the saga titled Season of Storms, which is set between the short stories in The Last Wish. It's no surprise that the series has been adapted into multiple comic books as well. A total of 6 comic books have been published till now. The Road to No Return, The Witcher, The Lesser Evil, The Last Wish, The Bound of Reason, Betrayal. Video games are a big part of making the Witcher franchise popular, but the game adaptation had a bumpy start to begin with. In 1996, a Witcher video game was being developed by Metropolis Software in Poland, but it was cancelled. Then came another Polish video game developer, CD Projekt Red, and gained the rights to The Witcher, and in October 2007, they released a role-playing game based on the Witcher saga for the PC. This game was CD Projekt Red's first game. Despite being their first game, the game received mostly positive reviews. A mobile video game soon followed in November 2007 titled The Witcher Crimson Trail, which featured a young Geralt in training to become a Witcher. An online flash-based multiplayer game, The Witcher Versus, was also developed and released in 2008. In 2009, CD Projekt Red finally released The Witcher 2 Assassins of Kings as a direct sequel to The Witcher on September 2009. This game was hugely successful, paving the way for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The Witcher 2 Assassins of the Kings received a lot of good reviews. It has won over 50 awards for best graphics, best adaptation or use of a license, best story, story, best PC game, best RPG and game of the year. It sold more than 940,000 copies by August 2011. By 2012, the game had sold 1.7 million copies, and by February 2013, the combined sales of the game and the previous games crossed more than 5 million. By 2014, the series reached 8 million copies. That's impressive. With the release of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt on May 2015, sales and profits spiked. The game was a massive hit, being considered as one of the greatest video games of all time. Over 1.5 million people pre-ordered the game. By June 2015, over 690,000 players had bought the game and 6 million more copies were sold in the following 6 weeks. The studio had already made a profit of $63 million in the first half of 2015. By 2016, the game sold over 10 million copies worldwide. By June 2019, it is estimated that the game series has sold over 40 million copies, with The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt accounting for more than half of it. This played a major role in popularizing the Witcher franchise. The game not only entertained but introduced people to the already popular book series, further expanding its audience. It's one of those games which will stand through the test of time. I could totally see this on the 2 playlist every year. I bet the author of the book also couldn't foresee the success of these games. In fact, he hasn't played a single game. Of course, he's a hardcore writer and a literature lover, so he doesn't want to play the game, but he says that the game won't be able to do justice to the source material. But games have changed over the years. It's not just about fun, it's about the story in it and the experience of it. Witcher game series have a good blend of storytelling and game mechanics which have made it a success. So it's pretty safe to say that it's a pretty darn good adaptation of the book. I think he should give it a try and see what made it so successful. I mean, the game is a big reason why The Witcher is so popular. Let's finally talk about the film and television adaptation of The Witcher. In 2001, The Witcher titled The Hexer film was released, which extended to a TV series in 2002. It was bad. In several interviews, Sapkowski criticized the screen adaptations. I can answer only with a single word, an obscene, albeit a short one. But that's not a single word. Okay, finally let's talk about the Netflix show The Witcher. In May 2017, Platage Image announced that they would be producing The Witcher TV series in cooperation with Netflix and Sean Daniel Company, with Lauren Schmidt being the showrunner and Andrzej Sapkowski as a creative consultant. If you don't know who Lauren is, she is an American television producer and screenwriter. She has written scripts for television series, namely The West Wing and Justice, as well as written and produced shows such as Parenthood, Do No Harm, Private Practice, Daredevil, The Defenders, and The Umbrella Academy. Now let's look at the 3 main characters from the show. The Witcher, Geralt of Rivia, who is also known as Gwynblight or White Wolf, and the Butcher of Blaviken, who makes a living hunting monsters and is being played by Superman. I mean Hencry Cavil. Clearly in the books, Geralt is not known for his physique buff but for his medium build paired up with his agility and speed. But I think the guy looks great as Geralt and clearly the White Wolf. Except this shot where he looks like a blonde wolf. Beside that, he's lit. Then we have Yennefer looking gorgeous here. She is a sorceress who is Geralt's soulmate and is being played by Anya Chalotra. Then we have Princess Cirilla Fiona Ellen Rhiannon, around whom most of the plot is centered. She is also known as Ciri, the Lion Cub of Sintra, child of the Elder Blood and the Lady of Time and Space. She is also the adopted daughter of Geralt and Yennefer and is being played by Freya Allan. Both Freya Allan and Anya Chalotra are fresh faces, but Hencry Cavil is a pro, so I do expect him to deliver the best version of Geralt because Doug Cogley really set a high benchmark in the Wild Hunt video game with his voice acting. The reception so far is mostly positive. Some hardcore fans of the series have criticized the casting choice and their ignorance of the game, which made the Witcher franchise so popular. In fact, the Netflix team working on The Witcher themselves said that they are totally ignoring the game, as the game was an adaptation of the book and this show is another adaptation of the book. The author Sapkowski's hatred for the games is to add to that. I think that plays a big role in how the show is being made. He hates games, so much so that he said that the games were just a fan fiction. In a way, it's okay not to focus on the game as the source material. Otherwise, things would be too similar in the show and it would be kind of boring maybe. And also, as Sapkowski is working as a creative consultant, we may actually get to see The Witcher in a form much more closer to the books. But it's not okay to completely shut the video game. In response to that, we will be seeing the infamous Geralt relaxing on a bathtub scene, which is definitely a fan service to the community. Besides some more conflicts in the community and a comparison with Game of Thrones and The Witcher games, what I have seen so far, the visuals, the production quality and everything else is making me excited, as the last film and TV adaptation was, you know. The show is releasing on the 20th of December this year with 8 episodes and I'm so pumped about it. And Netflix has already handed a season 2 renewal. This clearly means that something is definitely right about the show, right? So what are your thoughts? Are you hyped about The Witcher? Let me know in the comments below, and for more interesting content, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.